So from the AFC East, let's go into the AFC South. The AFC South is a fun one. They've often been kind of labeled the weakest division, especially in the AFC. They always have had at least one dominant team. Of course, Peyton Manning leading the Colts to just division championship after division championship. The Jaguars haven't really been good. They had a year of relevancy with Blake Bortles, but really like the mid 2000s with like David Garrard was their heyday in terms of like being a hard-nosed competitive football team. The Titans are great. Everyone knows the Titans are kind of knocking on the door, ready to potentially make a Super Bowl, but are kind of, victims of a very tough AFC. And then we have the Texans, who were really solid for almost a decade, and then have just completely fallen off a cliff these last few years. So I guess we'll kind of go from the bottom to the top. I went from the top to bottom in the last one. Texans, I think it's a no-brainer. They lack a lot of talent. Bill O'Brien really tossed a hand grenade into the organization on his way out, absolutely destroying it. They have a really, really unfortunate situation with their supremely talented quarterback, Deshaun Watson, being accused of sexual assault on over 20 women, so he's not going to be available. Or they might trade him to the Dolphins, apparently, which would suck. But I'm sure the Texans would be quite happy to get him off their team and get picks back. So they're going to start the season with Tyrod Taylor, which, hey, I like Tyrod Taylor. I think he's a very serviceable player. He always kicked the Dolphins' asses when he was on the Bills. He's had kind of unfortunate situations where he's been. Cleveland, he got taken over the starting job by Baker Mayfield, and then he went to the Chargers. He played one game and then got his lung collapsed by a doctor trying to give him a shot before a game. And that led to the rise of Justin Herbert. We all know how well he did last season. But I just don't think the roster's very talented, and they're going to come in fourth, which really benefits this team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they might win a couple games. They only won one game last year. It might be a little better with those two Texans games. So obviously you got Trevor Lawrence, who I do think is going to be a great quarterback. He can't do it all, though. I mean, it might be an Andrew Luck type situation. Probably even worse. I think the Colts were at least somewhat talented with Andrew Luck, and then Andrew Luck's talent and heart and determination and all that really led them to being and playing above their station. I I don't really trust Urban Meyer as a coach. I wouldn't even be surprised if he didn't make it through the season. Not because he'll get fired, but because he's dealt with health issues and he might just leave. We shall see how that plays out, but they're going to come in third. This is where it gets a little bit more difficult, because if the Colts had Carson Wentz from a few years ago, I would say they're going to be in first place. I think their roster is very talented top to bottom. It worries me the way Wentz played last year and the, foot injury that I guess he had, and they only discovered it in this offseason, which is very strange, all things considered. But yeah, I think with all the questions surrounding this, I mean, hey, maybe Wentz reunites with Frank Reich and they're right back to it. They're winning 13 games. They're back to how they were when Philadelphia was cruising with them and then won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. But there's too many question marks for me to put them in first place. So they're going to be second. Tennessee Titans, I mean, what can you say? Derrick Henry, best running back in the game. 2,000-yard season last year, had a great season the season before as well. They have A.J. Brown. They added Julio Jones. If Julio Jones can stay healthy, watch out. Watch out for this team. I think they could win it all. They've been knocking on the door. This might be the year for them to bust the door down and make a Super Bowl. which I think is good. I mean, I like Mike Vrabel. Obviously, I have a soft spot in my heart for Ryan Tannehill. No hard feelings on, just didn't work out with Miami, and that's okay. Sometimes things don't work out. He's played really well in Tennessee, and we'll see what happens, right? But yeah, so Titans first, Colts second, Jaguars third, Texans fourth. Those are my AFC South rankings, my predictions. Let me know what yours are in the comment section down below. Hey, thank you so much for watching that clip. If you liked it, maybe subscribe. We have tons of other NFL videos, as well as really every sport we're covering here on Wicked Good Sports. So subscribe, stick around. If you want, check us out on iTunes. We post mirrors of the videos on there as audio only. Follow us on Twitter at WGEverything, at Wicked Good Sport, on Instagram, on Twitch at twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything, and on TikTok, just search Wicked Good Everything. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.